Thank you for choosing to watch another free e-learning tutorial from dakinane.com. Today you'll learn how to use the updated Educreations app for iPad, and also how to embed an Educreations lesson direct into a blog post from an iPad. We hope that you find today's lesson useful. So let's open up Educreations and have a look at it. So as you can see, the icon, they've taken the opportunity with the launch of iOS8 to completely reinvent themselves and redo their business model. And here you can see my lessons, and if we scroll down the side here, we can see all my classes that I've created and the content that's in them. So we can see stuff back in here. If we click on the heart, you can see lessons that I favorited. I haven't done any of that. I haven't made any recent lessons, and you can see here are the featured lessons that have been created by students and teachers around the place. But what I want to draw your attention to in the first instance is down here in the bottom left hand corner. It's the cog down here, and you can see that here are my settings. Here's my account, my school. If I click on the school option, I can actually join a school if I wanted to. These are the local schools in the area. But I'm not affiliated with a particular school, so I'm not using Educreations at school, so I just haven't filled out that option, but you can. And there's the upgrade to Pro there, and also you can see now when I used to have unlimited space on for my Educreations, I now have a rather measly 226.4 megs, and I've already used 150 megs of that allocated space, which is, in other words, I've used 3/4 of my allocation. So to keep on using that, I'm going to have to keep deleting content, which means that the more prolifically that you use this content, the more quickly you're going to have to delete content that might not be very old for you. So the encouragement here is for us to upgrade to Pro. So if you click on more space, this is what comes up, and look at that, $124 to upgrade to Pro. When they announced they were going to Pro, I was very pro it. I think it's a good idea. I don't mind paying for content if it's quality, and I really do think Educreations is a good product. But I just think the $124 is a lot of money per classroom. If you look at the features down here, yes, you get a lot, but look at that. Includes Pro Access features for 1 teacher and 40 students. I think per classroom, $125 is a lot of money, and so if you're listening to Educreations, I would encourage you to reduce that fee, because I'm not sure that I'm going to want to recommend that teachers actually spend difficult to come by cash on your resource for $125. $10 maybe, and then you get more classes, I reckon. Anyway, that sort of rant and grumble aside, we're going to start looking at the actual features of the new look Educreations. So as you can see here, this is where all my previous Educreations creations have been stored. So let's look along the top here. What you can see is the trash here, and cancel. What you can see along the top here is you can see the plus sign and the select option. So select, obviously, if I want to select some lessons to delete, but I'm not going to do that at the moment, so we'll just click cancel. But we're going to look at the plus sign. So first of all, let's look at creating a new lesson. So click plus, and you can see the interface here has changed slightly. So let's just go through this. You can see that where we had 4 pen colors before, we've now got 5, and it's very easy just holding your finger down on the each palette color to select and choose your own color. So if I want to change this blue to purple, I could do just by tapping on it. And if you want to revert to the default colors, just click on the resets and it comes back again. So there's one extra color in the palette, and there's a kind of a more muted kind of pastel-y color range for you if that's important. In the same sense that we've got, so if we can just draw on here, and we can use the pen tool, the eraser tool, to erase gradually if we want to. But if we press and hold this, we've got the options here to clear the page or clear the ink. So that's very useful if the students have annotated something and they want to clear just the ink and not the page. I'm going to clear the page though. And just so going through all this, looking at the setups, in the top right hand corner here you can see this piece of paper with the lines on. This gives us a choice of background colors. So we can use lined paper if we want to. We can use graph paper, which is really particularly good if you're going to be doing maths demonstrations. And then you've got the Cartesian or coordinate graph here, which again is really good. But most often I like to use the white paper, but at least you know those options are there. So we're good to go. Let's go and add some content. So the way we add content is clicking on the plus sign just below the top right hand corner. Click on plus, and here you see this is when Educreations has now flipped itself into two halves. We can only on the free app have the access to the top three icons. We can add text, so if you just click on here, I can tap anywhere to add text. So let's this is, and we can do a little bit with it. We can click on here and change the color, so I can make it orange. We can make it bigger. I can scroll backwards and forwards through here by using these arrow buttons if I've made a mistake. And then once I'm happy with my text, I click done, and I can move it around and I can place it anywhere I wish to. So if we click on this, click done again, and the lock feature is quite good. So click on lock, and now once this is done, the text cannot be moved. So let's add some other content into this single slide here. So we click on plus again. We'll look at the other option here. The middle one with the mountains and the sun is add a picture. So I'm going to add a picture from my camera roll. I'm going to add a cup of tea here. And oops, it's covered over my text. So what I can do is I can use the pinch and squeeze function with on the iPad. I can with two fingers I can rotate, and I can make it wherever I want to make it. So we'll leave it there, and again I can lock that in position. So there we go. So it's quite easy to add content. So what I'm doing is I'm preparing my slides before I do my presentation. Let's add a new slide. And to make a new slide, I click on the arrow in the bottom right hand corner. You can see now that it's slides 2 of 2, so you can sort of see how we're navigating. And let's click on plus again. Now, one of the upgrades that means that the free account actually has less features is the ability to surf the internet. Now, you used to be able to surf on the old version of Educreations, and you can't now because that's part of the upgrade. So how can we actually do this? Well, let's just open up a browser. Let's come back to here, and what I've done here is I'm in Google, and I've done a search for some birds here. So let's say we want this bird, the keridu. So I've done my search in Google. If I press and hold on the picture, this option comes up to save image, and once I've clicked on save image, I can come back to my Educreations here and click on plus, and rather than go straight to the internet now, I can go back to my images and I can click on my camera roll, and there's my picture of the keridu, and I can insert that. Now let's have a look at some of these options on the picture icon here. You can see here I can make it fill the entire height, or I can make it fit the entire width and move it around. So that's quite neat. Tap on here again, I can fit height, and I can squeeze it. And again, what we can do is we can tap on here and lock it in place. So what we've done now is we've created 3 slides. We can scroll back to or 2 slides. We scroll back to the left and to the right and see what we've got in place. Let's have a look at what other features we've got. Of course, we can use the camera and take our own picture, and that broadly is it. So our presentation is now ready to be recorded. So once we're ready, I click on the microphone icon on the top left hand side here, and I'm immediately recording. So now I can use the pen tool. I can highlight bits of importance on my images here. I can put my own notes down here. Is whatever we want to put. We can go to the next screen. We can choose a different pen color. We can look at stuff like this. We can come back again, and all of these various navigations that we're doing will be recorded as we go. If you want to pause your recording and gather your thoughts, you just click pause. We've done 37 seconds, and we can carry on recording. Now, on the old version of Educreations, if the children hadn't recorded something and had run out of time, if they went to save, they couldn't save because they had no audio, and so they had to lose their work. In this latest version, you can save a draft. So I've run out of time. Let's say I've run out of time, but I have partially recorded my recording in this instance. I can click on the share icon in the top left hand corner there, and I can see I can save this as a draft. And what that means now, in my completed videos here, I've got my finished ones and one draft. Now on the free version, you only get to save one draft at a time. On the paid for version, you can save as many as you like. But at least on an individual iPad, on working with an individual student, if they run out of time, their time has not been wasted. So that's a good feature, and I'm really happy about that. So let's come back to this. Right, so now I can carry on again, and let's just say I wanted to just add a bit more text in here. It's going to pause while I put some text in, so you can see what's happening, and let's just label this appropriately. And I can just move that to here, and then I can continue recording and just pronounce that appropriately as Kereru. And finally I've done my recording, and now it's time to stop. So here's the last part. Click stop, and now I'm ready to share. So what we do now is we save our finished video, and we can give it a title. Give it a description if you want to, it's not necessary. This is quite interesting here now. By default it's private, and I would certainly recommend, if you're thinking about auditing what's being saved, that they kept private. You can change the grade if you want to, subject area if you want to. Let's make it, I don't know, something language arts. That'll do, doesn't matter. And you click save. And as you save it, what's happening now is this is going to upload to the Educreations account that I've got. That arrow there indicates it's gone, and now that will be on my Educreations account and will have added to my tally. So if we look on my settings here, we'll see that my total has gone up slightly because of that. So these are all the main features of Educreations in the new version, and then obviously the ability to take the content from the website and embed it. If we look at this, you can do that in here, I believe. And I'm immediately recording. So as you can see here, I started playing this, and if you look in the top right hand corner is the share icon, and now what you can see here is the embed code. So we can copy the embed code. Now how do we get the embed code from the iPad into, say, your Blogger blog? So if we click on here, we go to Blogger, okay. So here I am in my blog, and the trick here is you click on View Blog, and I have the dynamic view. When this loads up, yours might look slightly different. In the dynamic view, what I need to do is I click on the Blogger link at the bottom, in the toolbar at the bottom there, so click on Blogger, and it gets me into the back door, the admin part of my blogs. And so then I click on the create a new post icon, and up comes a new post, and you're familiar with creating blog posts, so this is test post. And I need to make sure that I'm in HTML. There's the compose view. Here's the HTML view. We're posting HTML code, don't forget. And then so I copied the code straight from Educreations. I click paste, and there's my paste code, and I click publish. And that is how I can update a blog directly from my Educreations on my iPad straight into my Blogger. So let's cancel out of here. Let's come back to my Blogger. Done. So you can see very quickly that I can now, from within inside Educreations, do everything that I need to do if I'm using a blog site to actually embed stuff. So it actually puts the power of creating content and then posting it to something like a blog in the power of the user of the iPad, rather than having to upload, as you did in the past in the old Educreations, and then go and find the computer and then do the copy and paste into your blog or to your wiki via the computer. So this is actually much more efficient. As I say, Educreations and the free account is much more limited, but there is some, this kind of swings and roundabouts. So that's the overview really of all the key features of Educreations. Thanks for watching this free tutorial. Your support is important to us and we value your feedback. So please leave a comment below, and also don't forget to like us. Finally, if you learned a lot from this tutorial and you want to learn more, why not subscribe to us and you'll be automatically informed of our latest tutorials when we publish them. So click on the link above to subscribe. Thanks.